Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a productive week and that you're winning the silent battles that those around you may not know you're fighting. Today, I just remembered that in our last intro video, through the excitement, I may have forgotten to introduce myself. So without further ado, you can call me Yum An. I chose this name to emphasize the fact that, like you, I am human, and I know what it's like to be alone or feel like you have no one else to talk to. When I think about it, these feelings of isolation, sometimes even depression, can be made worse or even brought on if you're in the wrong environment, especially when that wrong environment is your own hometown. It's a perfect segue into today's topic: why staying in your hometown can be a trap. So, despite the familiar faces or the usual spots where you used to hang out while growing up, sometimes your hometown can end up acting more like a cage without you even realizing it. And with that in mind, the goal for today's video is for us to try and discuss where we're at, how we're feeling about it, and what we can possibly do to best position ourselves for a change, even if physically moving may be out of the question. So please do share your thoughts in the comments and let's get this problem solved. So, what is a hometown? According to Merriam-Webster, it's a noun meaning the city or town where one was born or grew up, or the place of one's principal residence. I remember when I was 18, still fresh out of high school and filled with big dreams. Back then, shows like How to Make It in America, about two best friends who started a fashion business together, inspired us to think out of the box and have mosquito-like tenacity when it comes to life. You gotta keep buzzing around your goals, guys. Sometimes those mountains may not always move, so you have to be willing to climb from time to time. So back then, every business idea I had felt like it would immediately sprout into this $1 million conglomerate in a week. And I kid you not, sometimes I would spend hours fantasizing about buying a private jet, then expanding from my fashion label into restaurant chains and then a telecoms company. It was the whole thing. I obsessively daydreaming to the point where the daydreaming itself became a kind of reality, until one day I woke up and I had turned 24, still with nothing remotely like what I had envisioned having happened. But that was years ago. One thing led to another, and I still haven't left my hometown yet. Every time I try to leave, I keep coming back to it like a clingy ex. The city keeps holding on to me and hounding me. Of course, there are positives of staying in your hometown when you consider the advantage of perhaps saving money or lower costs like rent or food, especially if your hometown is considered a small city. Those savings over time can end up being considerable and allow you to venture into your own projects. There's also the priceless advantage of being around family and close to maybe your parents, which can, of course, foster a sense of stability. However, yeah, that was coming. Every coin has a flip side, guys. So the hometown trap can be quite subtle. It can creep up on you and rear its head years later when it suddenly manifests as loneliness or feeling constricted. The same routine, same faces, same places can become a kind of veil that whispers beautiful lies into your ears and silently strangles your dreams. This is because of the limited growth in hometowns. If you still live in your hometown like I do, could you please answer the following question as truthfully as you can? Do you know everyone or most of the people you interact with on a daily basis and yet still feel lonely? If the answer is yes, then it's most likely that you're in a situation of limited growth caused by your social circle that hasn't evolved. This is social stagnation, and I have to admit I'm basically the Lionel Messi of it at the moment. And it's always so important to preface by saying at the moment because life can change. Whenever I leave the house, I seem to only have the same shallow conversations with the same people, just a hi and a quick wave. How was your weekend? The weather today is hectic. Or a quick comment about something we're both noticing at that particular moment in time. You end up feeling like you're stuck in a loop, living the same day over and over and over again. Then there's the most subtle aspect of staying that you might overlook because you have to be looking to notice it. Staying in your hometown can rob you of opportunities, job opportunities, business opportunities, networking opportunities, you name it. By staying in your hometown, you could be potentially missing out on your own breakthroughs because usually, and I'm not saying always, but usually, the best opportunities are located outside the bounds of your city. Right now, you might be feeling unmotivated or discouraged, but maybe That's simply because your talents or skills aren't valued in your city. So ask yourself, is your hometown helping you grow, or is it keeping you stuck in place, like a person with their legs buried in quicksand? And if physically changing your location isn't an option, at least at the moment, it helps to keep in mind that leaving doesn't always mean packing your bags and hopping on the next bus out of there. Sometimes your hometown can be a mentality, a state of mind. It's the same engraved patterns and same routines keeping you in the same circles. If for some reason you can't change your address, then please try by all means to change your daily habits. This will lead to a change in mentality and allow you to spot and recognize opportunities for new communities where you are. And new communities always lead to new opportunities and new connections. See you guys in the next one.